Hello, my name is Alpacapin, and this is part 7 of Call of Cthulhu. Last episode, we went to Miss Sanders' house to inform her of her husband's death, and then we met Shamby the Ugly. He didn't have a mouth, nose, ears, eyes. How did he find us? I don't know. Maybe it's some weird monster sense. Speaking of which, how did he eat? What does he eat? 'Cause he didn't eat us. All he did was poke us around a bit, fling us. But eventually we found this scissor dagger that we destroyed the painting with. Now we're here to investigate.
An old diary.
Diary of the Pastor's Wife, Volume 4. What happened to Volume 1 through 3? The pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to this voice in his head because it holds the truth. Is this talking about the Sanders couple? Sure sounds like it. Even books are throwing shade. Now where's the bookkeeper? Last time we saw this this broken window right here with some blood on it. Hopefully he's still alive because he's the only lead we have now. History of Darkwater, Volume 2. A Puritan colony, led by Reverend John Wickwood, settled on the island during the 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the peculiar colors of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. How ominous. And people still live here. They're either really brave or they're really dumb. Another book. Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection. As precise and illustrated with as much detail as the first volume, this book focuses on healing surgeries specific to malformations and motor disorders. I wasn't aware that medical research or studies were that advanced back then.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's Theosophical movement. Its followers placed truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are at the origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. Creator of Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the texts of this work, but no one has ever been able to consult them. I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the nameless bookstore on Darkwater, could be as much a fake as irrefutable proof of Blavatsky's sincerity. We're stealing a lot of his goods. What is that? That liquid seems really pretty. Kinda looks like a nightlight. Though I don't know if you'd want a skull in your bedroom at night. More lamp oil. Always good. I still don't understand what's lighting up all these things on this island. They all look so ominous. Darkwater History, Harry Campbell, Volume 4. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the waters surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because up till then, the region was a favored refuge for Sedacians? In 1847, after months of pursuit, Scylla returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. If it was truly so monstrously huge, how did it not sink the ship? Alright, now that we've plundered his store and all the goods in it...
What happened here?
Let's finally look for this guy. Oh, well these are a lot different from the boobies that we saw last time on the statues. Do I need to censor this?
Let's start over. Where did they break in from?
Well, fool, there's only one door.
Blood. Seems like amateur work.
Did he punch through it? Everyone that's seen any crime movie knows you wrap some cloth around your elbow, you elbow that thing. Okay. Where did he go next? Oh, This thing, a note. Is it a ransom letter?
To whom does this footprint belong?
So is someone leaving? Okay.
This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
Or he's high. You never know. Or drunk. Because prohibition doesn't exist here. Here is the booby painting. And there's something behind it. How'd you know? How could recollection tell you this?
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals?
Oh, ew. It was all rats and cockroaches. That's nasty. Let's finally take a look at the painting.
What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
It was this star with an eye through it.
What the? Charles Hawkins?
How could you have known this? I don't understand. This recollection is just fantasy at this point.
Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins.
So then Sarah came?
What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
Ah! Oh.
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
Mm-hmm. And who's this?
Drake put in a
Bookkeeper?
great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
I don't understand. I'm not too good at putting together these clues. I don't know how the detective does it. And
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Ah, a puzzle. It's been a while. The last puzzle that we tried over and over and over. Oh. Hopefully we don't have to do that with a safe, because that would be so much harder. The page seems to be hidden here. It is possible to read. If somebody finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality, in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to my combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each one hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say, a genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its content into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage, of Miskatonic University. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents, and that you will be able to act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you, nor to suffer from your actions. So he did. He did. Alright, let's take a look at these thingies. The cylinders, whatever.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
If you had tentacles groping you at night,
what link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of the Hawkins trips to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. We do need something to protect us. It seems like this contact that we have with the other side is getting stronger and stronger. Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection, Book 1. We found it. Do we have the complete series, or are there more? The least that can be said about this book is that its title is well conceived. The illustration of human anatomy and dissection methods presented are illustrated in great detail. You have to have a strong heart or the detachment proper to doctors to consult its pages. So it's a graphic novel. Aha, aha.
What a strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
Didn't you just pick it up? Amulet in the shape of a dog. I don't know what kind of dogs you're used to, but dogs where I come from don't fly. A strange amulet, the pendant is in the shape of a large dog. I don't know what it represents. I might find out more by searching the bookstore. You just picked it up. You said you weren't gonna touch it, but you picked it up. You picked it up anyways. I don't understand you, detective. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There's so much stuff to read. Get ready. Holy.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Book of Spells, supposedly written by the legendary King Solomon. It contains various rituals of invocation and rituals of curse. Reedition by Claudia D. Waits, based on L.W. Lawrence's original. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural. Okay, now I have the full intention of reading through every single one of these books. Probably want to skip ahead unless you really like to hear my voice for some reason.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Arkham Anthology, volume 8? 8. Opera in 8 acts by Chieti Boj something. An infamous lyrical work published in Italy in 1768. It is said that the opera was performed only once, resulting in an audience riot that left several dead and missing. This volume is part of the Arkham Anthology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural. We have the whole series
Another
here.
volume by Arkham Editions.
Nice. Volume 6. The Prophecies, a collection of long-written astrological predictions written in verse, written by Nostradamus, translated by E. Leone and Theophilus Widebridge. An interesting last name, Widebridge.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of him.
What do you mean you never heard of him? You just read 3 other books. Are you kidding me? This detective. Losing his goddamn mind. Volume 7, Isis Unveiled. A book of esoteric philosophy and a key text in Madame Blavatsky's Theosophical Movement, written by Helena Petrovna Blavatsky.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
An ancient Frisian manuscript translated by William R. Sandbach. Batch? Sandbach? The volume claims that in the distant past, Europe and other continents were controlled by the mothers of this people, and moreover, that our alphabet is derived from the Frisian language. This... Nope, don't need to read that.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Things That Should Not Be. A collection of the essays on American folklore and urban legends written by Albert Wilmarth, professor of the Miskatonic University. Please tell me that the combination is not within these books.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of him.
You just read 8 other books, my mans. Volume 2, Corpus Hermeticum, written by Hermes Trismegistus, translated and edited by Nathaniel M. Coppelius. This collection of different texts on different beliefs was written by a legendary philosopher. It includes a translation of the Emerald Tablet, a popular text among 16th century alchemists. Oh, we're finally done with all the books. I remember the clues saying something about cylinders, right? Oh, more boobies. This game's really got a fascination with breasts. Nice. I don't think no, I'm not gonna censor anything.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide.
Oh.
I should perhaps listen to them.
listen to them. Listen to cylinders? I'm afraid I don't follow. This game might be a bit dated for me. And a chessboard.
Things are not looking good.
Well, if things aren't looking good, you take a look around, and if nobody's looking, you rearrange the board. Some extra oil. Okay, time to... No. I hate these books. I hate all of you. Did we get this one? The one up here?
How many volumes are there in this collection?
I don't think we've read this yet. Volume IX, is that 11? I think so. Collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby, also known as Nightmare Lyrics. This collection of poems was sensationally received when it first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old. Oh, a young prodigy. Very nice. How do we listen to these? Okay. 10, 3, 4, 2, 1. 10, 3, 4, 2, 3. You know what? The simplest answer is usually the right one. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Anything? Ah, damn it. Okay, well, if that wasn't it, I'm not sure what else to do. Let's check back with the chessboard.
Things are not looking good.
Is there a goblet?
A kind of chalice.
Chalice? It's very, very decorative. It's a shame it's all scratched and cracked. Goblet seems to be very ancient, and it seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. Do the rubies and sapphires make a specific motif? It's very pretty. A thing like this could go for a hefty amount of money, detective. Aren't you strapped for cash? A cylinder meant to be listened to by using a phonograph. I found it in the nameless bookstore. The message, although obscure, might contain important information. What is a phonograph? Oh. Oh, hello.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them.
Okay, chessboard in volume 9.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine
And the
gold.
rubies.
To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry.
Okay.
And I do
The chalice of knowledge.
1. Okay, no, we'll start at this crack that kind of looks like a person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, and then the white piece is left protecting the queen, right? 1, 2, 3. So 5, 3. And then volume 9.
So these are the volumes that Drake was talking about in his message.
Yeah. Okay, so IX isn't 11, it's 9. I forgot that the 1 through 3 goes before what the 5s and 10s dictate. Maybe just 9. What was it? 5, 3, 9? Let's try it. 5, 3, 9. Awesome! That is no book, that is a grimoire. A thing of great evil. You'll be burned at the stake if it was 100 years earlier. Detective, I suggest you not touch it. See how dirty those pages are? Those ketchup stains. What happened to your face? We're being watched. Oh my. And suddenly Newton no longer understood where he was.
Dr. Colden, this man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient,
What?
after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do.
Colden?
Mr. Blake, can you hear me? I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Where in Colden's body? Now, is this present in the present time, or was this way back in some time ago? Has he been drugged?
Did you inject him with a tranquilizer?
No, Doctor. Not me, not anyone. Our stock is empty, yet again.
Again? But there was enough for the whole island.
More and more people are suffering from insomnia. We can't refuse to help.
Of course.
Any idea what this man might be undergoing?
Don't look at me. I'm not a doctor. Colden might be, but not me.
Very well. I'll examine him.
Alright. Teach me your ways.
30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell.
Does that mean he's dead?
His skin shows abnormal loss of color and seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin, tender at the touch, slightly sticky. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence of a foreign body.
So, Doctor?
It's an alien.
An opinion?
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge to treat this man.
He's got aliens
Don't
in
say
him.
that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
He had something in his belly. He's carrying a child. He's pregnant. The state of his limbs is worrisome. He's severely dehydrated. These things can be solved. Hook him up to an IV. Give him... Yeah, this will solve the... I don't know about the stickiness. I think the belly thing is the most... Okay, either he's got a kid in his stomach, an alien, or he's got to go dookie.
Did you examine his abdomen? It would seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could be pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away by itself.
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the truth.
Whew. You shouldn't let him hear that. State of his limbs is worrisome.
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
That's a lot of responsibility you're pushing onto me.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion. But that doesn't explain his condition.
His body is mutating.
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually associated with the human species.
What do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
A baby and an alien. And a mermaid. You're turning him into a monster? I've never seen anything like this. These symptoms are worrisome. Let's accuse him. I don't like him. You're turning him into a monster.
I've seen suction cups on his fingers. His falling body temperature. His dehydration.
Spider-Man?
Had I only read the report, you know what I would have concluded, Doctor.
Do I? Tell me anyway. I'm curious.
He's no longer human. These are the attributes of an animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say? Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
I don't know what that is.
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Oh, was that a threat? Dr. Fuller, I will.
What did he mean?
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
Hidden files are proof nobody mentioned crimes. For now, stay out of this. I need a friend. Let's go with the hidden files.
Oh, that evidence exists. I'm sure of it. I need to find the missing medical files.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep Mum.
Keep Mum. I like her. She's a nice lady. Very nice. Unlike that scandalous doctor. What is this?
An unknown medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects.
Is it the one that gave him an alien baby and turned him into a baby? So he's a baby with an alien inside of him. Possibly another baby. Alright, well that is going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. See ya.